Hi everyone, welcome to the video. It's Friday, it's my day off. I'm back as promised. I have some new products to review, and so sit down, get a drink, put your feet up, get comfortable, because we're going to dive right in. I ordered the Norvina palette from Anastasia Beverly Hills. You guys know I am a big fan of the Soft Glam palette. This is still in velvet. That's kind of the brand's signature as it was. This is her daughter created this palette. I guess these colors can be scary if you're not used to working with them. But I was talking to a woman, and she was saying that, those whatever colors, like these kind of colors, don't look good on her, blah, blah, blah. My response was, well, have you tried those colors? And no, I've never tried them. And so I say to you guys, if you have a preconception of what colors look good on you, what colors don't, but you've never tried the colors that you think doesn't look good on you, I say give them a whirl. You never know what can happen when you step outside your comfort zone of what you're used to. You might find something that is like your holy grail and you will die for it and you love wearing it. So we're going to dive into this. I've wore it to work. It's very good formula, same as Soft Glam. This color scheme to me even was like scary but beautiful. I love purples. I don't wear them tons on my eyes, so that was new for me. I've wore this section, not these three. We're going to get into it. I also got a sample for Clinique Beyond Perfecting Super Concealer. Gonna try that. And we are having a sample of Anastasia. Sent me this sample for my order. It's cream contour. It actually says foundation stick for contour. And the bottom of them says MMK. Now, they also sent me this Anastasia sponge, and you can see I've already been using it. I like it. It's a firmer sponge. It kind of depends on personal preference, but I've never used cream contour, so let's see how she rolls. Now, I have some foundation on, and I'm going to tap this concealer in. The color looks okay for me. This color is moderately fair. Moderately, okay? So I'm going to use the pointy side and squish it. And I did not use my moisture stick. I'm just going to see how this concealer kind of gets along without moisture under my mature eyeball. I had prepped my skin with Suzanne Organics moisture serum. Then I put on some Tarte primer, smoothing perfecting primer, to kind of fill in my pores, fill in my laugh lines, kind of fill in my texture issues at this age. Now I'm going to look closer, up close and personal. It looks okay. I think it could use a little bit more. It's a very watery concealer. I like more creamy, thicker concealers. If that's my first impression. but we'll see how she wears and if she falls in to my wrinkles and my lines. There is one thing I can say about watching young girls in their 20s putting on concealer everywhere and slathering it on, is that they don't have any lines like wrinkles and places to fall into when you're 25. And that's fair. That's how it should be, right? I didn't have fine lines and wrinkles at 25. That's like the gift of being 25. We're not supposed to have that stuff. And when they talk about, I'm just layering it up here, when they talk about their fine lines, I do have a hard time with that. But I'm here to tell you that I actually have wrinkles, laugh lines, and you know, I'm 52, so they're not going anywhere. They're here to stay. And I'm struggling a little bit with this product because it's very watery. So building it up to where I like it was kind of a struggle to get it built up. So I don't think I mind that if it doesn't crease as we go. So I'm going to press into my troubled areas. Then I'm going to set it. Some KKW number 2. This is what I do every single day. I don't bake per se. You can bake. I'm not saying that you can't when you're over 50. I'm just saying that it gets harder to bake because our skin is different at this age. So my version of baking is just tapping the powder under the eye, wiping it off later. So I'm going to put on some Tarte eyeshadow base. This is the Clean Slate 360 Creaseless 12-Hour Smoothing Eye Primer. Still using it. Still loving it. And I'm using my finger today. Usually I use a brush. And whichever way is a personal preference. However you want to apply your primer. If you have long nails, I don't really have long nails, they're just a little bit of nail. It's pretty short though. So I can usually, if I want to use my fingers, I can, but if you have long nails, just grab your brush, wipe it on. Then I just grab my powder brush that I put on, and I just kind of swipe it away because I don't like to use the KKW on top. Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. I just tap into the lid. You don't need a lot. Just getting that primer set. And still the debate goes, do you set your eye, don't you set your eye? I just find it easier to set the eye. The eyeshadows blend better. That's my opinion. A lot of people share that opinion, and there's a few people that think you can get your pigmented to show up if you do not set the eye, which technically is true, but for me, I'm just not good enough, I guess, to not set my eye. I don't like the eyeshadow grabbing. So my base is Osmosis Natural Medium, and I'm going to set it with Osmosis Pressed Base Powder in Natural Medium. Big brush. Just base is matte, but it is not drying matte. It is not the bad kind of matte for a mature face. Still can't speak highly enough for this powder. Throw it in your bag when you travel. Get you a big brush. Bring it down your neck. You'll never regret the purchase. So, I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush, if I can find it. And I always use 535 to start off with. And there she blows. This palette has a base color, and it actually says base. So, you do pretty much are making this your all over base. It kind of just starts the ball rolling. And I'm going to do that quick technique that I showed you guys before. Cuts down on time, especially when you have a small mature eye like me. And even if you have lots of territory to work with, like I said before, you can save time by going clear up to the brow bone with your stamping with your finger, then taking your blender, going over the top, bingo bango, done done. And I'm going to put one color on. I'm going to use Eccentric. Right down here on the bottom row with my big fluffy brush. And I'm staying way almost by my eyebrow. This eyeshadow palette has a great formula. There's not a lot of fallout. The fallout doesn't bother me. As long as the eyeshadow performs on the eyeball, I could care less if it falls out on the pan or in the palette itself. I'm just building slowly, not going cray. Now, that's it. Of course, I'm on camera and my nose is like, yeah. I'm tapping on a little tiny bit of glitter glue. This stuff doesn't feel super powerful. It's not like you're putting super glue on your eyeballs. This is the Too Faced glitter glue. And remember, it's just cutting time, helping your eyeshadow wear all day, especially if you want to wear a shimmer on the eyeball, on the eyelid. It just holds it in place and really helps everything wear and sit down on the eye. Okay, so we have a number of shimmers in this palette and they're mixed with mattes. Great combinations here. I'm going to use the shade Dazzling. It's top row. And I'm just going to tap it clear high. Clear all the way up to, here is my eye socket. And I tapped it all the way up there. Bingo bango. Gonna switch fingers and tap this all the way up to my eye socket bone. So I'm baking till I make it, basically, because you see this tiny crease, my eyelid's way down here, but I've tapped it clear up to my bone. Clear up basically to the top of your eye socket. And if you see any gaps, tap away. I have just a little bit of gap over here. Man, this is a beautiful color. Haven't used this one yet, so first impressions. It's going on great. The fingers are the ideal tool for shimmers, in my opinion. And Dazzling is on the top row, right here. So, now what we want to do is switch to a small brush. a small, very compact, this is a shader brush. This is Morphe 441. And now I'm going to go in the color Love. It's on the bottom row and it is a matte pink. And you see I'm over the top of the shimmer where the shimmer ends. And I'm creating, I blended it all in. And make sure you tap off and go right over the top. Just blend in. If you have any fallout, don't let it frighten you, just brush it away. And now I'm going back with Love. It is a pink matte shade. So I want it on my outer edge. Going over here. And I'm using tapping motions. Now we want to put it under our eye. We want it all to line up. And the lighting, ugh. So I'm connecting everything. So everything is a continual line. Now I'm patting on and building color in my outer corner. This rounds the eyeball and opens up your middle. Never be afraid to create shape. And if you need to practice, what do I always say? At night, grab an eyeshadow palette, practice, slap some color on. You're going to bed in 15 minutes. It doesn't really matter how it looks. Get used to holding your brushes up close for precise, way out here for blending. Now I want to put this gorgeous color on my eyebrow bone. And I never say that right. I want to highlight my brow bone. And I'm using Dreamer. And I'm coming right in to highlight. I'm right on in. Now I'm going to bring it to the front of the eye. And take it here. Highlighting the inner corner for mature face. I know the young girls started it, but I'm telling you, when you have red eyes, you have allergy issues because you're aging that you didn't have in your 20s. You have itchy eyes, watery eyes, just general problems that you didn't have in your youth. Opening up and creating this highlighted area makes you look wide awake at 6 o'clock in the morning. It is a great technique. I can't tell you enough what it does for the anatomy of the face and the illusion that you have bright eyes. I'm like, I have bright eyes. We're working. So I'm going to take my blender and just rub over everything. And trust me, I have watery eyes. I have one right now. I go to the barn. I have issues with the footing, with everything else. I'm going to use the sample. It's very small, but find your bone and just go easy. I have never used a cream contour. I'm a powder girl all the way. That's why I buy good powders that blend. They're easy to work with. And especially for beginners, I think powders are easier to use than creams. Now I'm going to take my sponge and blend her in. It blends out very easy. I will say that for the product. Anastasia has lots of good products. It's a great brand. I like that. I don't think I would rely on it 100% for my contour and my bronzing per se, but I like it, and I like the fact that I just drew a little line. I'm going to use my Too Faced palette, and I'm going to bronze up, and you can lay that right over your contour. Keep your bronzer towards the back of your face, or hence side of the face, because you don't want to bronze past this point. You want to keep it back. If you have strange shaped face, if you think you have a shaping issue, you create angles with your bronzer, and it helps so much. Now I'm going here, here, and here. I'm tapping in. I'm going across the bridge of my nose. I'm squeezing my bronzer brush. I'm going down the sides of my nose with what's left of the product. Now, I love this eyeshadow. It was quick. It was super easy. And I think I'm going to use Passion as my eyeliner, bottom row. I don't always just reach for the black eyeliner, which I wear, yes. But you can tight line your eye with a very small detail brush. This is Morphe E35. And I'm just tight lining right along the lash line, just to give my lash line some definition. So when you put your mascara on, your lashes have a seat, as I love to call it. So far, this concealer is setting very well. It powdered down okay. I don't see that it feels a little bit drying on my skin, but I think it looks nice. I will let you know about its wearability. Just hug those lashes with this very fine brush, and you can tight line away. So I'm going to use a little Lash Paradise. This is a drugstore mascara. Sorry guys, I had a cramp. Drugstore mascara by L'Oreal, and it's very popular. It is very well loved. It's very buildable. I, of course, still use Gifted Tarte. It's just I don't have it here in my room. So I'm going with Lash Paradise. Make sure the outer corners of your eye, of your lashes, are built heavier than the front half. I know that just sounds weird, but trust me, you're creating shape. You're creating volume in areas that typically most mature eyes need. So we cut way down on our video time today too. Heck, I'm so proud of myself. And I'm going to put on some blush. That looks so pretty. I'm telling you, the endless amounts of looks you could get from this palette is well worth the money, well worth the spend. If you're writing like I am, and you know, you have a purple suit or a mauve suit, or like I have a deep chocolate brown and a shimmery, this palette will go great with your saddle suit. And what blush? I think I will use some Osmosis blush and peony. You guys know, excuse me, this is the best summer shade. Ugh, love. Just gonna use my blush brush and work it on. I'm also going to sweep away any powder I have left under my eye. And I have my beautiful Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Let her dry. I'm telling you, this spray, oh my gosh. This spray will just melt everything into your skin. And I know that sounds scary coming from a clean girl, meaning clean products, you know, stay away from the poison girl. But this melts everything into the skin, makes it ride so nice on the mature skin, because I have humps and dips and wrinkles out here and big sinus issues, and I mean, I could go on and on and on. So I've got texture that makeup kind of needs to sit into, so I can look natural yet youthful, glowy, dewy skin. That is healthy skin. And I'm going to take a highlighting brush, one of my favorites, 501M, and I'm going to go down the front of my nose. This is a more pink based, and I'm going to get on my cheekbone and highlight away. I hope you guys like this review. Palette, well worth the money. Cream contour, who knew? I'm gonna keep trying this. I'm gonna keep letting you know about it. Love you guys. Subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and I will see you on Sunday.